Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the main card fights for UFC 248, Adesanya versus Romero. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the main card. So in our first fight, we have in the welterweight division, Alex Oliveira versus Max Griffin. So right here, I see these two guys similar frames. I think they both are around 5'11", 6 feet, long shoulders, long arms, skinny, slender frames, about similar frames. Whether they have similar skill sets, not really. I think Oliveira is more physically strong. He has better grappling skills, better wrestling. I think Max Griffin's boxing a little bit cleaner, whereas Alex Oliveira's striking is kind of unorthodox. He has like kind of a kickboxing type style, but it's even unorthodox by kickboxing standards. He just swings a lot of straight punches and swings a lot of hooks, kind of keeps his chin up straight, but he's very effective with what he does. But yeah, interesting style matchup right here. But yeah, both of these guys are really their best shots are their straight shots for the most part. Oliveira does have some good hooks at times, but really his best shots when he punches straight down the middle, or when he just ends cutting off the cage and just smothering you with his size and his pressure and his strength, and just really putting his hands on you. That's when he kind of at his best. But how I see this fight right here, what it really comes down to me in this fight is I see Alex Oliveira's heart not really being there as much. Maybe when he was struggling in life and just things weren't good for him, maybe he had that dog in him, but it seemed like he kind of lost that dog lately, or maybe he just lost his confidence or something. It's like a lot of these fights now, you start to see him break. His fights go long. Maybe if he can get you out there early, he's had success. But if you take him into the deep waters, like every single time, it's like he's choking now. In the past, he's like he had a dog in him, but it's not. You don't see that same dog anymore. And I feel like Max Griffin still has that dog. I feel like Oliveira, you would say right now who's the better fighter? You probably still say Oliveira, but you say who right now has that dog in the more? I would say Griffin. And I feel like Griffin can win this fight over the war of nutrition or attrition or whatever it's called. But I feel like that's where Max Griffin can thrive in this one. See, it's a competitive fight. I feel like it's going to start to break away down the stretch, and Max Griffin is going to pick it up as the fight goes on later. I think he's able to get the stoppage. But I see this fight going all places on the ground, on the feet. See, it's a very highly competitive fight, but I feel like Griffin just had that more dog in him. I feel like in the later rounds, he can start to take it away, and he puts away Oliveira in the third. So in this fight, I got Max Griffin via third round TKO. Now to our next fight we have in the welterweight division, Magny versus Jingliang. So looking at this fight right here, I think with Magny, I think it's like he's really starting to get exposed in a lot of ways, or has been exposed. Like he already been exposed for having questionable submission defense against high-level grapplers. Like anytime a high-level grappler takes him down, he gets submitted in like 2 seconds. But now he's starting to get exposed for his legs. People start attacking his legs, and eventually he loses all striking offense. He starts to be on wobbly legs, getting dropped from anything, and then he just becomes a sit and duck, like he did in his last fight against Ponzinibbio. So his legs have definitely been exposed. His jiu-jitsu already been exposed. I think definitely with his range and Jingliang's tendencies to get caught, he can have success. But I think Jingliang can just have a smart strategy and attack those legs. I think over time, that's going to do more damage than trying to attack Jingliang's chin. I think Jingliang, every time he's been dropped, he usually went on to have great success in those fights. It's usually fights where he just gets outmatched to a decision when he loses. But when somebody tries to really go for the kill against him, that's usually when he just turns it up and looks even better. So I don't think that's going to really have the best strategy for Magny. I think Magny tries to fight a smart technical fight against Jingliang and use his reach, or maybe got better at checking leg kicks. But we don't really know what Magny has been doing in his absence. But I think right now, as far as from what I've last seen and what I've seen from Jingliang, looking the best he's ever looked, and I already know he has some very good leg kicks. I think he could chew up Magny's lead leg, put him on wobbly legs, and make him a sit and duck over the course of the fight. But I see first round kind of competitive. But I see the attacks of the leg definitely adding up pretty quick and early, and then those fights start to go on. Magny not having the best defense or mobility, and I see Jingliang being the pressuring fighter and just wearing on Magny, probably to the decision. I think Magny has a hard on. I think Jingliang has really, he's not the greatest striker or the most accurate to really put away Magny in 3-round fights, especially with Magny's cardio and his heart. But I definitely see him putting some good work on Magny. But I see Magny having the heart and still having that grit and still having that dog enough to make a decision, still make it a competitive fight. But I just think those attacks of the leg going to pay dividends and really allow this to be Jingliang's fight. So. And also the pressure and the power of Jingliang. And also the momentum of Jingliang he currently has. But yeah. So in this fight, I have Jingliang via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the lightweight division, Dariush versus Klose. So looking at this fight right here, we all know Dariush has some real good striking, real good pressuring fighter, world-class, top-notch BJJ, some good switch kicks to the body, some good leg kicks, good jab, questionable chin, great fight IQ. But really the only drawback from Dariush is really his questionable chin. Like, he's a solid fighter. If he had like a solid chin, he'd probably be a champion or would have already been a title contender. Really the only thing that's been keeping him back is his chin. It's not his cardio, it's not really his skills, it's the chin on him. Sometimes he get caught. And maybe sometimes the pace. I think a couple times early on it was pace, but more so what's been drawing back is his chin. But going against Jakar Klose, I see Jakar Klose, I see the fighter there that's good control of range, some decent power, not no crazy power. I don't think he has no power that Dariush has never seen before, but definitely got some good control around you. Has some respectable power, but not no heavy-handed fighter. Good fight IQ, good well-rounded, good wrestling, good grappling defense, good scramble ability, decent understanding of different range stuff. So he's a fighter that can definitely upset a lot of people and go out there and give pretty much any fighter from top to bottom in this division some work. I'm not saying he'll beat everybody, but he can definitely be out there and give everybody some work because he's just so solid and so well-rounded. He has such a good eye and good feel for things on in the ring. So he could definitely give Dariush some good fight out there. But I really just don't see him having the power to really, be too effective against Dariush. I don't see him having no wrestling to really be effective against Dariush. But I just see him as a fighter that's going to go out there, give Dariush some good work and make him have a competitive fight. But I feel like Dariush is just more tactical, more experienced. He just has the better tools. And like I said, he don't have to worry too much about his power. He has to respect it, but I don't think he has to worry too much about some guy that's having this killer power. Just any single shot gonna put him out. And I think Dariush can take him down, control him on the ground. Like I said, Klose is solid on the ground. He trains with some top BJJ people all the time. But I feel like Dariush can definitely mix it in and get some points off that or some control off that. I don't see him getting no finish over Klose, but I see him winning a clear-cut decision over Klose, just pretty much edging him in every facet of this fight. But a competitive fight nonetheless, but Dariush winning this one clear on the card. So in this fight, I got Beneil Dariush via decision. Now to our co-main event, we have in the women's strawweight division, reigning champ Zhang Weili or Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk. So the current champ versus the former champ and the greatest women's strawweight in UFC history, and probably like top 5 pound for pound in women's MMA history in Joanna. So you got women's MMA royalty versus the newly crowned queen of the strawweight. So how I see this fight right here, you got two technical solid strikers. I think Weili definitely packs more punch than Joanna. Definitely has that knockout power. I don't think we really haven't seen her knockout power start to develop too much until recently. At first, you really didn't see her as like a knockout fighter in Weili Zhang. She was physically strong. She was physically imposing. She definitely had some power behind those punches, but she wasn't like that just wrecker, like that chick that you get hit by her, your life's gonna go out or you can get buzzed until the Andrade fight. And that caught a lot of people by surprise, including me. I didn't think her power was that great. I knew she hit hard, but I know she hit that hard. Maybe because of the counter shot. Maybe it was how Andrade was coming into it. Or maybe Andrade waited until she became champion to get a little bit soft. And then that was just Weili's perfect chance to crack her. And she did. Also, there was some illegal hair grabbing here and there with those knees to the chin. But we ain't going to say that because it's past. So you can't really say anything now. Things have passed. Hair grabbing illegal, but it happened. And she went out there and ran through Andrade nonetheless and had her hurt even before she started grabbing her head in the Muay Thai clinch to land some extra knees. But yeah, so I see this right here. Weili packs more punch, not as much volume. I don't think she is nearly as technical as Joanna on the feet, but she's probably the more physical fighter. And she has packed some more punch. And also, I'm not saying she's that far behind the technical skills. And also, Joanna has, in the time, shown a questionable chin. And also, there's more blueprint there because Joanna has lost a couple times now. So she can maybe see what Valentina did to her, maybe see what Nama Nunes did to her. But I don't think her boxing is nearly as clean as Rose's boxing is. I don't think her... really, a lot of stuff. Her boxing not clean. Joanna, is Nama Nunes. I don't think her kickboxing nowhere near as clean as Joanna. Not clean as Rose's. Her boxing not as clean as Rose. Her kickboxing not nearly as clean as Joanna's. But like I said, she packs more punch. She's more physically strong than both of them. I don't know what kind of approach she'll go for this fight. Maybe try to be an enforcer out there. And also, her reflex is not as good as and range control is not as good as what's it called, Valentina. So it's kind of easy to say that she's not this and that, but when you try to judge based on what other people beat her, I don't really see the same blueprint being there for her to like say just because these people beat her and she on top don't mean that she has all the skills just because she's the champ that she just automatically beats Joanna. And that's kind of what I'm saying with this fight right here. I don't see Weili necessarily having the style that beats Joanna. It might seem that momentum on her side, but stylistically wise, I think it kind of favors Joanna in my opinion. Yes, Weili has power, but I think Joanna's not going to just be out there running into her punches. Yes, Weili is strong and try to pressure her, but Joanna has really done good with physical fighters because she did beat she beat Andrade before. Andrade had struggled to really get on the inside and land anything clean on her, except maybe a little bit early in the first round. Andrade couldn't really do no takedowns or slam her around or do something else like that because Joanna has very good wrestling defense, very good grappling defense. So really that physical approach really hasn't beat Joanna. Joanna has been beat technically. Yes, Valentina did did manhandle her a couple times, but really it was a breakdown, technical breakdown. I just think so. I'm really favoring Joanna in this one. I don't see Zhang as being more technical than her. I don't see Zhang having that much physical advantage on her. But yes, if she could cut the cage off and constantly be in her face and tagging her, and they're gonna feel the power through her punches. But she just try to manhandle her like this physical strength alone and just maybe one-off shots alone. I see Joanna really picking her apart. But I think she definitely gonna try to do the smarter route, just being in her face, tagging her, making her feel power. Not necessarily just trying to be power shots, but just with everything, with tagging to the body, tagging to the head. Not heavy shots, just the fact that she naturally has that physical strength on her and that power behind the punches, so that she don't have the need to load up, do stuff. And I feel like it's probably gonna be a strategy, but I still feel, even with that, I think Joanna's tough for me to weather that. And just be the faster fighter and be able to beat her to the punch more often, grit it out, and probably win a very close decision. But you never know. It could be one of those fights that could be another controversial, close decision. But I see this one definitely going to decision. I definitely see Joanna as a more technical, faster fighter. Definitely see her putting more volume up, but it's probably be volume versus power, or who was more effective. Was it based off ring control, based off Joanna's ring control, or is it based off Weili's ring pressure? But I see this as a very close fight. But I see Joanna, and I have me judging Joanna winning this one off based on her volume and her technique, and just landing the more significant strikes. But that's me as far as my prediction for this fight. But very close. But I see Joanna winning off significant strike totals. So in this fight, I got Joanna Jedrzejczyk via decision. Now on to our main event we have in the middleweight division: Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero. So you got the middleweight champion versus Yoel Romero, with 3-time title challenger now. I think twice against Whitaker, and was supposed to be a third time versus Luke Rocco, but he missed. But Yoel Romero missed weight. But that's besides the point. So how I see this fight right here, I already predicted it before. But I kind of see the styles right now as I see Romero, how he changed over time. Right now, Romero style has become, I guess, getting older, maybe just a little bit smarter, or, not having the same energy now. He kind of sits back a lot now and waits for his opponents to make a mistake, then he jumps on it. Or he at least gives the time to fill his opponents out. He knows that he has some good defense. He's hard as steel, so he could take some shots. He'll let you slow down and create opportunities for him to counter and crack you back. Or maybe maybe he conserves his cardio till later on, then he'll go on attack, because he knows if he goes out and attacks and doesn't get the finish, he'll be tired the whole fight and likely lose the decision. So kind of like we did in the second Whitaker fight, he kind of gave up the first 2-3 rounds, and then he went on attack in the 4th and 5th. He won those rounds, but he didn't get the finish, so he lost. But it's kind of like the same thing. Like at first he was kind of he always kind of had that good third round on him, but I think more so now he's consciously trying to conserve his cardio. I think against other fighters that maybe aren't as high a level of strikers, is Adesanya that works very well, because they leave clear pockets. Like they might be having one arm drop. You could just maybe block one side and catch them on their side because they have their hand dropped. Or like Rocco, he swings those big ugly check hooks and he just fired a straight round the pocket. Like pretty much he left a whole big door open for him to run through and punch him in the face. But with Adesanya, he doesn't leave those same level of gaps. Everybody leaves gaps in striking when you're attacking. But Adesanya, in a higher level strikers, yes, they'll leave gaps, but not that big of gaps. And how the rangy that Adesanya is, and how he fights at the end of his punches, end of his kicks, is really hard to find counters on him. I think for Adesanya, the best chance to find openings for him are when you pressuring him. Like you pressure him, pushing him back, and then you could catch him with jabs, or you could catch him with crosses. But if you're like fighting on the outside, like Romero has been doing lately, I think he's gonna get picked apart and diced up. I guess he can have success with his wrestling, but I don't think he can have like long periods of success, because he hasn't shown the ability to really control people at his high level. Like he can get takedowns, but he can't really control them for too long. Adesanya has shown the ability to get back to his feet, and he has shown the ability to be strong from the start of the fight to the end of the fight, and actually get stronger as the fight goes on. So I think with Romero trying to wait till later rounds, that's all it's going to do is make Adesanya be even better in those later rounds, pick him apart even more. So he's going to waste rounds just to get picked apart even more in the later rounds. I think Romero's going to fight with a smarter strategy. I know this is his last chance to probably be the best Romero we ever seen, so it's definitely be more competitive than what I'm making it sound out to be. But I really see, regardless, I see it as a fight that Adesanya's going to get stronger as the fight goes on and really start to pick Romero down. And Romero's not going to really have answer once, Adesanya really gets his range, gets his timing down. Even though Romero has so athletic, so experienced, so talented, and so this and so that, such an animal, such a beast. That beast not gonna have no answer for that technique. You're gonna be trying to fight a sniper with an army knife. And Romero's a legendary beast, but Adesanya's a beast himself, and he's having a sniper, and you got an army knife. I just think Adesanya just snipes him and starts to pick him apart down the stretch. Close kind of fight early on, or semi-close, but I really just see Adesanya winning every round in my opinion. But I really see him just dominating those later rounds, and I think he puts him away in the fourth. Getting him to make mistakes, get him to reach, get him overstanding, then countering him, cracking him, and put him away, and I think he does it in the 4th round. So in this fight, I have Israel Adesanya via 4th round TKO. And that concludes my fight predictions for the main card of UFC 248, Adesanya versus Romero. And as always, thanks for watching.